questions, and after I call on you, we give the microphone to you. Please state your name, news affiliation, and who you'd like to answer your question, and we'll start off for simplistic sake on this side. Bill.
You can go watch the Phoenix landing. We're working on the exact date for the STS-124, but you can go watch the Phoenix landing. Well, not yet. Within a few days, but you know, you're deconflicted enough that we know you'll be deconflicted enough that you can manage it with a round trip ticket. Because I'll tell you this, the landing day on Mars is fixed. It ain't moving. There on every mission.
It happens every mission. It's the APU exhaust, and obviously you can see it at night a whole lot better than during the day. In fact, it was so pronounced tonight that we could see it on final as Dom was approaching the end of the runway, and before he even got into the xenon lights, if you looked really, really closely, you could see it. Pronounced tonight, not quite sure why. Sometimes atmosphere has a little bit to do with it, but it does pulse as the APU injects the hydrazine over the gas generator bed. It's a pulsation kind of scheme, and so that pulsing is very natural. It happens every time. You got to see it a lot better tonight.
I mean, I've talked to veterans who've covered this program a lot longer than I have, and I think they were even floored by how pronounced it was. I mean, this is nothing that alarmed you or shook you or anything like that.
No, it was no alarm. It was pretty fascinating to see that clearly tonight.
Back, Tarek.
Thank you. This is Tarek Malik from Space.com and Space News, and my question is maybe for Dr. Griffin and Mr. Mamiya. This mission had a French astronaut coming home, a Canadian robot, and the first part of a Japanese module going up. And I was just curious what your insights are now that you've got all the partners on the station about the way forward in terms of international cooperation. Thank you.
Well, we said this was going to happen. We've been working toward this. It has happened. It took years to make it happen. I've said, Tarek, on quite a number of occasions that if you look around, there really isn't anymore a U.S. human spaceflight program or a Russian human spaceflight program. There is a world human spaceflight program centered around the building and then later the utilization of the International Space Station. And we hope when we get that under our belt that this partnership will return to the moon and later go on to Mars. But it's something that we're doing together and have been doing together for quite some time. You're just now seeing the fruits of that work, but the work's been going on. Mamiya son?
Yeah. I agree with Dr. Griffin in the sense that we have constructed very strong ties among partners, and it's quite a precious experience, and we want to continue and expand this ties to the future, even though nothing is committed yet, but direction will be as Dr. Griffin told. So we will cooperate in every aspect of the program.
Okay, we'll stick with that side of the room. Anybody else? Okay, we'll come back to this side. Sorry. And we'll go in the front row.
Hi, I'm Maddie Hartke-Weber from Junior Scholastic News, and I have a question for Mr. Mamiya. When Kibo is completed, what do you hope to learn from conducting experiments in open space?
What kind of experiment?
Any
Yes, of course. Our Kibo module is special in the sense that we can conduct the experiment inside, but also outside of the module. So all sorts of experiment is possible. And the Kibo was constructed by Japanese, but it's open to international society, especially for partners. So partners can utilize our module inside, outside, both. So I hope very effective experiment will be conducted on Kibo.
Thank you.
Second one, please.
This is Hiroshima Smith from Yomiuri Shimbun. This mission was the first step for Japanese contribution. And it will continue. My question is about it. One for Dr. Griffin. What do you expect about Japanese contribution, especially including HTV? And one more for Mr. Mamiya. When will HTV fly? Thank you.
Well, obviously the Japanese contribution to the International Space Station program is crucial. They have Japan has just furnished the first part of what is an incredibly sophisticated scientific laboratory. The reason for the space station is to conduct scientific research in space, and one of the 4 laboratories aboard is the Kibo laboratory, and arguably the most sophisticated laboratory. Second, we do need cargo resupply to the space station, and the HTV, when it flies, will be an important part of the logistics resupply plan to the space station. So Japan is contributing in a very major way.
Yeah. Anyhow, Kibo is a first step for our utilization of the space, and first step for all sorts of human manned activities. And as far as the HTV is concerned, now we started the experiment on clustered engine in Tashiro, and we want to complete by the summer next year.